welcome to Rave Music 90s. We've managed to finally get our hands on a legend today, Doc Scott, loved by many locally and nationally. Scott, pleasure to meet you, mate, first of all.
Pleasure to meet you, mate. Thank you.
Amnesia House, first of all, what does it mean to you?
Well, it's in the simplest terms and the truest terms, it's the first time I had a big stage to be on, and you know, the first time with whatever you do is always special, important, and unique to you. And I always say to people, if everyone ever asks for advice, is if you get a chance, no matter what it is, whether it be playing at a gig or some studio time or whatever it is, and you realise that it is a chance, you got a window to really make the most of it and to do your absolute best you can and showcase it. And I think I realised, I think on the third party over at the Sky Blue Connection, that what an awesome opportunity that I had. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's the important thing, is realising when you've got a real big stage and you're in front of a big audience. And I don't mean big as in numbers. I mean yes, big in numbers, but an influential audience. Do you know what I mean? And Amnesia gave me a platform. It kickstarted because everyone came from London and from up north and Manchester and Liverpool, and loads of promoters and loads of important people, and I had that opportunity to do what I could do. And then from those gigs allowed me to go around the country, and going around the country allowed me to, better myself and to, get over to an even wider audience. And for that, I'll always be grateful, and I'll never ever forget that, that those parties, were fantastic, and for me personally, were an amazing opportunity to kickstart a career that I didn't even realise what was going to be a career until 5 years afterwards. Do you know what I mean? Because back in those days, no one knew, none of us knew how long it was going to last for, whether it was going to be one summer or a couple of years or whatever. And it's got a special place. That's why, when I kind of wrote that message, I genuinely kind of look forward to the reunion, because it's a special time. It's a special time in my history, and I'm always proud as well, because you look back on those flyers and those events, and they're really fondly remembered by a lot of people. And whatever you do in life, whatever the history is, they can never take it away. So when I see my name on those flyers from that era, it's cool, man. Definitely.
Talking about forging a career out of it, obviously nobody knew how long it was going to last. Us guys here, we're called Rave Music 90s because we started based on our memories of the 90s.
Right.
We understand, obviously with yourself as well, that the music's progressed. How do you find it different today as opposed to back in the 90s?
Let me turn my phone off for a start. Do you mean musically or?
The vibe, the scene.
I think. I mean, obviously, one of the unique things as well. If you look at some of those original Amnesia lineups, you could have someone like myself, Groove Rider, Carl Cox, and Sasha all on the same lineup, which is incredible, but possible because all the music was built around the same tempo. Then, do you know what I mean? And people were generally open-minded because there was nothing to compare it to. Do you know what I mean? There was you were literally at the forefront of this thing where nobody would knew what was going to happen the next week or the next month or 6 months from then. So the main difference is just I think like a raw excitement and a innocence to it all. Do you know what I mean? And I mean from the point of view of promoters, from DJs, from the artists, from the MCs to the punters. There was an innocence to it all that it's like anything. Going back to that first time kind of thing, you can never recapture that. Yeah. So it's one of those ones, it's like if you were there, it was special because it was really exciting, as well as going out and having a good time and having a good party and a good dance and doing a good whatever. But they were just really exciting times, man. It's like those those explorers back in the day that discovered America or went to the South Americas or whatever. It's the same kind of thing, man. And there was also kind of an innocence from the point of view was we didn't really know what we were doing. We kind of did, but we kind of didn't. Yeah. And it's only in time when you look back and you think, shit, there was some amazing times,
we were just
man.
in the right place at the right time. You know, like we were just normal lads. Like, right, this dance music's turned up. Here, I do this.
Absolutely, man.
The first party we done, we had 100 people, Canal Road, and then the second party we had 300 people, and the next one 5, and the next one 1,000. So it just grew and grew and grew. It was like an explosion, really. You know, it was just.
From what I remember, they were fun times.
They were. I mean, the atmosphere.
From what you can remember, that's enough said.
The music and the atmosphere, that's what it was all about. That's how I look at it. You know?
Definitely.
You know?
And your name, Doc Scott. Obviously, we know your name is Scott.
Yeah.
I've got an inkling that I know a little bit about why it's called Doc Scott. But could you tell us a bit more where the Doc come from?
Well, I used to make. I was into the music. When I say the music, dance music. And I used to be into hip-hop when I was like 11, 12. And that's how I kind of wanted to be a DJ, because I saw a video of Grandmaster Flash on like a BBC news clip or something, and I saw this guy controlling the music with turntables, and I thought, that looks cool. And I got my first pair of turntables when I was 14, and up to that point I'd been making like mixtapes on a twin cassette recorder, literally proper mixtapes, and I used to take them into school and give them out to people. And they used to have kind of electro and a bit of hip-hop and early techno records that I kind of stumbled across in a record store. And people used to come to my house for copies of these tapes, and they used to say it was going to the doctors to get music. And so when it came to play at my first ever party, I didn't have a DJ name. They said, what are you going to call yourself? And I was like, I don't know. They said, well, Dr. Scott. And I was like, all right, that's good. That'll do for me. And it stopped. So. And it's like one of those names, it's kind of, in the cold light of day, it sounds a bit daft, I guess. It's like, but once you get your name over, it's like, you know, Groove Rider. In the cold light of day, you listen to Groove Rider, you think, well, that's a bit of a daft name, but once you got him, once you know, Groove Rider, it's just like Groove or Jumping Jack Frost or whatever, any of these kind of names.
We were on about on Rich last night about Fabio, how he got his name. We're going to call him something else, like an Italian name or something. So he was on about it last night on the radio about how Fabio got his name, right? You know, you can't have Fabio, it's like an Italian name or something. You know?
Yeah, so it was it was given to me, which I think is I don't know, it's not better or worse, but it's kind of, it sits better with me, do you know what I mean? Because if it had been up to me, I'd have come up with some real terrible name that I've been stuck with.
Right, Scott, I've been a fan for a long time. I've collected several records which I've got with me, hoping that you might put your name on them.
Okay.
Nasty Habits, I remember Nasty Habits, Reinforced Records, the Metalheads, you've appeared on those. I wanted to ask, maybe I should know, but I don't. 31 records. What does the 31 represent?
It's my date of birth, my birthday.
Yeah.
Because that's another one where when I went to start the record label, I was looking through dictionaries and thesauruses and trying to come up with something clever, and I was like, oh, it's too. I'm kind of lazy, man. It's too. I was like, and I kind of looked around. There was no record labels at that time anyway that were based on numbers. And I was like, well, what's my date of birth? 31st. And that'll do. So it's 31 records. So there's no real spiritual meaning behind it apart from.
So it's just
it was the simplest thing that came.
I was thinking, was it 31? I was trying, and I thought, well, we'll just save it, and I will obviously ask. Slightly off the subject, Neville, I hope you don't mind.
Okay.
We booked you for intervention. We was having an old school reunion based on Rave Music 90s.
Right.
We know that you don't play old school that much these days because obviously you're doing different things. Rightly or wrongly, I feel that the music you do now is just old school. Is you can do anything, but it's more focused and it's deeper and it's just wicked, if you don't mind me saying so.
Thank you very much.
How did you feel about being asked to go and play the old school?
I enjoy doing them, but I just make sure that I don't do too many of them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because it just makes it less special. Do you know what I mean? If I said yes to all of them,
it's like, I've got Scott doing another old
it's not.
Yeah.
It's.
You only do it every now and again.
I do like probably 3 or 4 a year, and I make sure they're for the right reasons, and so they're enjoyable. And of course, doing one for Amnesia House, that's a no-brainer. And it also gives me a chance as well to go back further, because to some people old school is like 99. Yeah. I mean, genuinely, do you know what I mean? And that blows my mind. Do you know what I mean? But like I've done an old school thing once where they didn't really specify an era, so I kind of said to them, that's the thing. I always, if they haven't really specified something, I'll say, or through my agent, I'll say to them, ask them what they want. Do you know what I mean? Because I could come up with 88, 89, and they're like, what the hell is this, man? What's this slow plodding stuff? So the further back I can go, the more I enjoy it. To be honest, because I can go for a dig out some really cool records and not only that as well is I found as well is sometimes I have a couple of record bags at home that I kind of set up for say 91 to 92 or 92 to 94 or whatever, but I always go for a rummage before I do one of these, because
some special ones.
Yeah, well, the thing is as well is tracks that were I couldn't appreciate at the time because I just wasn't mentally I didn't have the mental capacity to appreciate how some of the tracks that were were too advanced for my understanding, and I go back and I'm like, holy shit, this track's awesome. I wish I'd have known it at the time, but you just don't know. You can only know with knowledge. Do you know what I mean? So it's a chance then to fit some of those back into the ones that more people know, and it's fun. It's fun to do, but as long as you don't do too many of them. Do you know, for me personally, anyway.
If we was to just go back, say 89 to 96, we'll say. What would you say is the best record you've made?
Made? Oh, I don't like talking about my own stuff. No.
It must be hard.
I don't.
Well, we love your stuff. Rave Music 90s, love
do you know
your
what,
stuff.
man? My favourite track is probably the first one I ever made, because I'm super critical of stuff that I've done, and it's generally why I don't make music nowadays, because I can't. I had a really tough time at the end of the 90s. I had a real good run through the 90s of producing, making music. And then I think I just worked too much. I kind of was burnt out, like 2000, 2001.
Yeah.
I was really kind of burnt out. I was burnt out physically and mentally.
Yeah.
And I kind of took a time off from being in the studio, and then I went back in, and I just had writer's block for the longest time, and I just couldn't do anything that was either equal or better than anything that I'd done, at least in my own mind anyway. Yeah. And I was like, if I can't at least equal anything I've done, then I'm not going to put it out. So, and that's why I've had like, I don't know, 2 or 3 releases in the last 10, 15 years, whatever. But I've always kind of said anyway, I'm a DJ that made some music. I never wanted to be a producer. It was never my thing.
Yeah.
No.
It was just something to think. It was more of a like, can I do it? Do you know what I mean? Because can I have a bash at it kind of thing. And so, in answer to your question, my first record, because it was just, I achieved everything I ever wanted to achieve. Everything else from them was a bonus, do you know what I mean? And just, I don't know, because people ask me about certain tunes, and it's difficult when you write something to ever rate it really yourself. Yeah. And then when you see these charts that are done every now and then by a magazine or an online magazine or whatever it is, and they put something that you've done, Shadowboxing for example, as number 2 best drum and bass track ever made. Yeah. I can't get my head around that. It's too much, man. Do you know what I mean? So I'm just like, yeah, it's cool. If like, I had a conversation with Goldie recently, and I say, if I never write another track again, it wouldn't really bother me that much. I'd like to, but I've done a body of work, and I feel I've contributed enough musically to the scene for other people to be inspired by it and go and do what they want to do. I only ever wanted to be a DJ, and I am one, and I'm still doing it. Yeah. So I'm content, man.